when you're a kid, if you have to walk, you fall many times. You just cannot start walking on day one,
Right.
So I think that kid example is a very good example. I like it because the kid falls multiple times before the kid starts walking, So I would say that one should not be afraid of failure, and I still am not afraid of failures. But you can de-risk failures by prototyping it on a small scale. So failure doesn't have to have a huge impact financially, but you should not be scared of failing. It's okay to fail, I'm saying, because if you've done good work and if you fail for whatever reason, there is always some learning out of that failure. That's why I said sometimes you win and sometimes you learn and not lose. My key advice to entrepreneurs: if your business model changes dramatically, you have to have a new team. You have to have competencies which have worked with you rather than trying to send people from your existing business to that new business, because the skills, competencies required in new business are very, very different. Your mindset as an entrepreneur also has to be very, very different. Many times you have a conflict between promoter and the organization, and similarly some very good employee who has done extremely well for you, you're really indebted to that person for the contribution that person has made, but at some stage in the organizational journey that person is not able to live up to the challenges. Many times there's a guilt feeling amongst entrepreneurs that how can you ask that person to go, but if you have that thumb rule of the organization's interests come first, then it's better to dispense with that person in a humane manner. I'm not saying ask that person to go, in a humane manner, so that the organization's interests are taken care of first. Many times relatively Indian companies may have failed much more because they've not gone through an experience curve, and for the same MNCs they may have gone through failure experience curve in some other countries. For example, Dove, they have perfected Dove in many, many countries, so they know exactly what to do in India. And if we had a category, say like Dove or a brand like Dove, we would have to go through the learning curve,
So in your lifetime, you don't think that there would be an Indian-born FMCG company that might outdo in size, and in financials? Yes.
It's very tough.
Hindustan Unilever, which is also an Indian company.
Yeah.
I'm not suggesting, but it has a multinational parent.
It's very tough to beat them, if you ask me, because they are in virtually each and every category, and they are not going to take it lying down the fact that they are market leaders in many categories. They will fight their way. So if you ask me, will any FMCG company beat levers in terms of size in the near future? The answer
in
is
India?
Clearly no. 0% chance, I would say.
0%?
0% chance. I'm willing to take that bet. My driving ambition in FMCG has always been that whatever we do in that segment of market, we should be market leaders. Basically, market leadership gives you very good financial returns, and I think that's been one of my, and weaker players relatively I've seen in most sectors, they fall apart, and you're seeing today in India consolidation taking place in virtually in each and every sector, whether it's telecom, 3 players left, or many other sectors. Banks also is getting more and more
narrower.
Narrower, and people are getting the mergers happening. So it's a global phenomenon that in our industry you will have more 2 or 3 players, and it consolidated because of weak players. So I didn't want to be a weak player in a segment. If I had gone into shampoo, I would have been number 8 or 10. I cannot succeed. All the failures which have occurred in the past, a lot of them have to be done with the consumer side of it. The ability to get deep into consumer's mind is one. Number 2, a certain critical mass in terms of, you need to have a certain critical mass, and you would, at least I like scale. So if the business may be okay, but if it is not getting scale, then I will not get happy, So you need to have a certain critical mass. Number 3, you need to have competency in terms of what are you pursuing, and if you don't have the competency, so you have to invest in these competencies in advance before you start that business, and not when you launch the product, because then that may be too late, And 4th is, more importantly, innovate and go on perpetually, understand what's working, what's not working in the marketplace, Don't be a me too, but try and offer something which is differentiated in the marketplace. Because if you're me too in a highly competitive environment, your chances of success will be lower compared to some innovation or compared to some pioneering thing you've done, which is not available today.